first.
Me first on that one. Yes, with a caveat. We are obviously, all of us who work for the New York Times are immensely proud of what we are accomplishing in the terms of the quality of our journalism, our ability to extend our journalistic footprint. When we started at the paper or before, we talked a little bit about how we got to where we are. The New York Times was fundamentally a New York paper with Northeast ambitions. And then it became a national paper. And then Al Gore invented the internet. And now it is in absolute truth that we are truly an international paper. And I don't think either of us ever had an idea that we'd get on an airplane from some country to some country and the person sitting next to us would say, by the way, I just read that story. But it's immensely powerful and rewarding, emotionally powerful and rewarding to have that. Now, all that said, we have a sort of famous saying about, what's the Pulitzer saying? Laurels are good best to wear, but you never rest on them. Right. For obvious reasons, they prickle you. And we know that as much as has been accomplished, the challenges are only growing. We've moved from a print focus to a digital focus. We're moving bit by bit from desktop to mobile first. I mean, it's no longer digital first. It's got to, how do you go, but you got to follow the readers. And the readers are moving more and more to mobile. And that means new ways of presenting the information that Dean and his colleagues so brilliantly conceive of every day. But it also means monetizing it, which is more my responsibility. And that is hard. That is very hard. But somehow we have to find a way to support our core, which is the quality of our journalism. We are committed to having those reporters in Iraq and Afghanistan or Gaza. And that is bloody important and bloody expensive, not to mention the human lives at stake. So we've got to, as proud as we are of what we have accomplished, there's no doubt that what lies ahead is seriously challenging.
First off, I feel an immense sense of pride, and it's interesting. I'm sort of a student of news coverage. I think I've read every autobiography and biography of every editor who I admired. And the interesting thing is that for as much as the great news organizations have protected their traditions, almost all of the, and this is something that's worth doing, by the way, almost all of the great journalistic institutions have changed and constantly changed, the ones that survive. If you read any of the autobiographies of New York Times editors from ages ago, or if you read just anything about the history of news organizations, the best ones change. The best ones want to be read in the case of what we do. The best ones understand their audiences change with them. The best ones survive even when radio came, even when television came. The history of news organizations is important, but I feel tremendous pride. I agree with Arthur that this is like a big moment for us. The next handful of years is going to be our big moment where we're going to have to change quite a bit while holding on to the core of what we do. But I do that with a sense of pride that people who came before me actually pulled it off. So, knock on wood if this is good.
Yeah, we will. Because we have to be partners in this, and that's a critical element. We're going to succeed. It's because Dean and I are together on the hard things as well as the fun things. But Dean made a good point, and I'd love to reinforce it if I could. This is not the first time newspapers have been in trouble. And he mentioned radio and he mentioned television, but I like to go back to the 1850s. I believe,
he's older than I am. He can do that.
Yes,
I didn't even know there were.
And I believe it was Horace Greeley, but it was either Horace or Greeley or one of his counterparts, the head of the New York Tribune or the New York Herald, who wrote in his own newspaper in the 1850s